Today on Community Cooking, we have one of our very own hosts cooking on the other side. Chef Kawakami is here to make another great meal. He's showing us how to make a fresh and easy homemade salsa, plus crispy baked chicken wings with a homemade buffalo sauce. You won't want to miss it. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community, so grab a seat and get comfortable. We have another great meal for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hi, and welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Maria Prekagis, joined by another one of our Community Cooking hosts, Chef Kawakami. Of course, you're a personal chef, a caterer, you do it all as well.
I try to do it all.
Welcome. Thanks for being back on the other side.
I love being on the other side. It's always fun. It's always good to see you, too.
Is it the dark side?
It's the dark side.
It's the happy hyper side with us two together. I love it. We have so much fun. So today, fresh salsa, and
Yes.
you always give great tips, and then we're going to do buffalo chicken wings, but crispy wings.
Crispy wings from the oven. And it's hard to get wings crispy in the oven, and so I'm going to show you my trick to doing that. But first, I also have a trick with the salsa, and this is really, really easy.
Well, because I think salsa, fresh is so much better, but then when I buy fresh at the store, it doesn't last as long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I just go to the bottled aisle, the canned aisle, which is bad because this is so much better for you.
And it tastes so much better. I can't bring myself to buy jarred salsa just because I know how to make salsa. I just can't do it. And I'm from Arizona. I'm from the border. Like, I don't like bad salsa. Like, it's an affront to me.
Well, and here's a little secret. He lives off chips and salsa.
This is my diet. No, this is what I live. Like,
And you
chips
look
and
like
salsa
that.
and chicken wings. Well, that's because I don't think I'm getting enough nutrition.
Anyway, well, we'll go over the ingredients first with the salsa.
Yes, so we have fresh tomatoes, cilantro. I love cilantro. I know some people don't, but it's a must. Fresh lime juice. We have a jalapeno and a gigantic serrano.
Oh, that's a serrano? I thought it was a jalapeno.
I know, it's so big. And then half an onion. Probably not going to use all of it because it's fresh and it can be really, really strong. And then just one little clove of garlic. And then for the wings, I'm going to show you how to trim these down, but it's super, super easy. We have your favorite buffalo sauce, and it's just going to mix with butter and a little cayenne garlic. And that's it. It's the most delicious sauce. It's so easy.
Oh, I love it. Well, let's get started.
Yes.
I'll let you get started on the salsa. And cilantro, it's funny because it's a love-hate relationship, I always say. And someone once told me that if you don't like it, people say it tastes soapy. I go, well, that would be disgusting. So no wonder you don't like it.
Yeah, I've heard the soapy thing too, and it doesn't taste soapy to me. I can understand. I mean,
Yeah, I love it.
There's certain things that like I don't like cucumbers. So yeah, I'm just cutting that in half.
Oh my God, now that is my staple food. The big English cucumbers.
I feel like it overpowers everything. And you know, it's funny, I make a lot of cucumber salads.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So yeah, you'd think that, yeah. But I always make food for other people. This is actually the food that I'm making for myself. So we're making the food that, like, this is what I want to eat. Yeah.
I love it. And this is a heavy-duty blender, so you're only having the Roma tomatoes and, of course, everything from the Torrance Farmers Market.
Oh, absolutely. Nice, fresh ingredients and these gigantic peppers. You know, I'm not doing a full batch of this because we're trying to make a little bit, so I'm not going to use all the chilies. If this were me and I was at home, I would be using all of the chilies. I like things spicy.
And you keep the seeds in because I like things spicy too. And these are beautiful Romas. I'm a Roma tomato fan.
Well, you know, luckily we live in California and you can find great fresh produce all the time. You know,
which is so nice.
Yeah.
And then the lime. Okay, this is the best gadget.
I'm obsessed with that thing.
Really, I make them with my Bloody Marys is what I use it mostly for.
Well, the thing is, it's like...
I love lime.
Mine's clearly old because the paint is chipping.
I love
it. But when you buy one of these things and you use it for the first time, you're like, oh, I've been wasting the juice. Actually, will you juice?
I will juice. I'm a pro for my Bloody Marys. I do. One day I'm going to have to share my low sodium, low cal Bloody Mary mix.
Oh, I love a Bloody Maria.
And that's with the
tequila.
Tequila. See, I'm vodka only. You don't want me on tequila. Things might get messy.
So I'm going to do a nice little healthy pinch of salt right there.
And what kind of salt do you use? I always ask
Kosher, always. Yeah.
For everything.
For everything, yeah. Actually, sometimes I have some cool pink salts that I got some from Salt Lake City actually recently.
Oh, really?
And I used it. I did a big pork roast, and I salted it the day before, and so it just sits there and like marinates in all its delicious saltiness, and just it extracts, you know, the liquid from the pork, and it just permeates. It's great. So if I have a special salt for that, that's when I use my special salt.
Okay, this special sauce.
This is not going to blend first. I'm just letting you know that right now.
I know,
So
I'm like, it's kind of chunky there,
it's totally
Jeff.
chunky. So you're just going to have to let the blender do its work. So you do this in stages. So
Okay.
we're going to go on.
On's good.
On,
On's
and
always
then-
good.
You push it down a little bit. And
good
this
thing.
always happens. And then all of a sudden, you're going to get all of this liquid because there's so much liquid in tomatoes. But it's a little bit of a process first.
It's all right. We have time, darling.
I know.
We have time.
I used to have one of those like plunger things for my blender. This thing is so old. I don't know what happened to it. This,
Well, I bought a brand new one, and I hadn't used it, and it doesn't work.
really?
Yeah, I was like, of course, and if you kept the paperwork on it,
Here
I'd
it
get a new
goes.
one.
Here it
Oh
goes.
yeah,
I told
look
you,
at that.
It just takes a little time. All right, so
Hello.
we're just going to keep adding in the tomatoes.
And it's just
You didn't
all
think it was all going to fit, but it's going to fit
I
in
did.
here.
I know. I mean, I trust you, but I'm like, I was a naysayer there to myself, going, "Are you kidding me? It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of salsa."
I know, right? And it's actually not a lot of ingredients. Salsa's actually, that's why I can't go to the store and buy it. It's so inexpensive.
Well,
and
I'm
we
going to
have
get
all
a
of
new
these,
blender, or I'll
Yeah,
just steal yours today.
I love this thing. I don't know. I'm really close to my blender. I don't know about that.
He's close. He's one with his blender. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And you know, I'm just going to dip a little pinky in. See what that.
That's all right.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm just
Remember, you can always add more salt. You can't take it
little
out.
tiny bit of salt.
I have a new grinder.
Oh, yeah.
It puts out a lot of salt. I oversalted a few things.
Well, yeah, that's actually, okay. I'm glad you mentioned that because the reason I use kosher salt, and a lot of people think chefs use too much salt,
Yeah.
but kosher salt's actually flaked, so you're using less salt. When it's iodized and it's like tiny crystals, you're actually getting more
Yeah.
salt. So it looks like I'm adding a lot of salt, but I'm actually not because it's flaked.
That's good to know. I usually use kosher, but yeah, and I found one grinder. I was like, oh, one little twist in the whole thing.
yeah.
So
Let's pop that in the fridge and let it sit. So right now
Okay.
it's all frothy and foamy,
Yeah.
and it's actually going to be too watery. So when you let this sit, it's going to actually separate, and it's even better overnight because all the flavors develop. But you're going to be able to remove the water, and I'm going to show you how. But
I love
first,
it. All right, I'm gonna put this in the fridge real quick.
pop that in there, toss those in the trash.
I love it. So how did you get into chefing?
I've always loved cooking. I've always been in the kitchen. Even when I was a kid, I was always trying to do stuff with my mom in the kitchen. I was always trying to like make bread from scratch, even though I would just like throw stuff in a bowl and it was never gonna rise. Like it was never gonna
There
be
are
bread.
beautiful bakers everywhere that make excellent bread. That's what I say.
Yeah. Well, I'm a baker.
Yeah.
You know, I have my sourdough starter, and if you follow me on social media, you see that all I do is bake bread and make chicken wings.
I was gonna say, I remember last time we chatted. I'm like, he likes his bread.
I
Okay,
love my
so
bread.
you get the wings
Oh yeah.
from
So
your
first,
butcher.
very important. Heavily
salted.
salted water because we're seasoning the wings and we're draining that liquid out, so we're not getting all of that
Okay.
all that salt. And I'm gonna turn this back up to high. So.
So where do you get the wings? Just as is, like this?
As is like this, and you can buy them in bulk packs, and I do this all the time. I just did this. I bought a giant bulk thing of chicken wings.
Yeah.
And I separate them, so I take away the little wing end, because no one's eating that tip.
No, it's kind of why bother.
Well, actually, what I do, I save those and I make stock. I freeze them in my freezer until I have enough, and then I make chicken stock. I don't waste anything. Nothing goes to waste here.
I love it because I was like, well, we can't just throw away, his little tip of his wing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I'm totally saving these things. Nothing's getting wasted. And I know it's gonna look really gross, but I mean, you're eating the wing of a chicken. So to cut this, what you do is you let it stretch out, and it's gonna naturally stretch. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's where the joints
it's like
are.
it does this.
I know.
Whee!
And you cut right at the joint, and
Okay.
it comes right apart.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
You gotta have. I mean,
Just stretch
if
it
you
out.
eat chicken, if you're not a vegetarian or vegan, you're gonna probably eat some chicken at some point.
You know
in
what?
your
You
life.
gotta if you're gonna eat meat, you gotta know where your food comes from. You can't be afraid of it. I'm a firm believer of that. You gotta respect the animal, know where it came from. That's why I'm also not wasting a thing. You
Well,
know?
no, and you never do,
No. So
which I love.
right at the joint, it comes apart very easily. And for me, this is actually very necessary. I don't wings are messy. You know what I mean?
Oh
and
yeah, no, I can't wait to eat and just have it all over my face.
Yeah, but when they're joined together like this and someone serves me the whole wing, I'm like, really? I have to do more work? I'm already doing a lot of work.
I have a friend who he refuses, kid you not, to eat with his hands. So if he can't eat a wing
Yeah.
with fork and knife, I'm like, or ribs, forget it. He just doesn't order them. I'm like,
Oh,
why? You gotta get it.
You're missing out.
I mean, I came from a big Greek family. You know, I look at my boyfriend's plate sometimes, and I'm like, are you done with that rib?
I cannot.
I'm like, no.
I cannot go through a meal without eating off someone's plate. That's totally. I'm like, are you finished with that?
Well, I mean, you know,
how does
we
that
had
taste?
lamb, and it was like you had to, you know, get it purely every piece of meat off of it.
Oh yeah. So these are just going in the heavily salted water.
Okay.
And sometimes I do add extra stuff to this. Sometimes I'll add, you know, an onion or like some garlic or whatever, just to get a little extra flavor.
Okay.
Sometimes.
It almost brines it a little, it seems like.
Absolutely. And also the salt, it actually kind of bleaches the meat a little bit too. So this is you're cleaning it in a way.
Oh, very nice. And you call this parboiling because
yes.
it's just
partially boiling it. Yeah, we're not cooking it all the way through, but you're getting it so it's nice and you're rendering the skin basically, because that's the problem with oven-baked wings. You have gummy skin.
Yeah.
You know, and no one wants gummy skin.
No.
That's like, I love chicken wings, and if I get gummy skin, I'm very sad because I was excited.
Do not
to
make
eat
Jeff
those wings.
sad,
No,
people.
I was excited to eat those wings, and I'm like, gummy skin.
So this is because you said they're crispy, and we're going to hold you to it.
Yeah, well, because you put them in the oven for 35 minutes at 400 degrees, and you need to rotate them. But this is another thing too that I learned because I've been practicing this. I've been getting this down. I eat a lot of wings. So a lot of recipes will tell you to put one they'll tell you to add baking powder or baking soda, but I find that makes the skin a little leathery, and I don't like that. And then another they tell you to put it on a rack, but because it helps the air circulate through. But I actually like when it's on the pan, it helps that side gets crispy, and then when you rotate it, that other side gets crispy too. And I'm already taking some of the fat out of here, so it's not like sitting in a pool of fat.
Yeah.
So I'm totally cool with putting it directly on the pan.
I love it. Now, how long do we parboil them for?
Just 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when we come back, we can put them in the oven, and then we'll check on that salsa. It's quick. You'll be surprised.
We like quick and easy, and if there's someone who knows chicken wings, it's Jeff Kawakami. All right, we will be right back. You're watching Community Cooking.
All that being said, do not give your girlfriend popcorn in a quiet movie theater. Just don't do it.
Cool story, bro.
Man, I just love telling stories about my girlfriend.
I can tell.
Hey, don't be jealous.
I'm not.
Look, man, I know that you're single, all right? And I was single for a long time, too, but, you know, I think I found the one. She's got a nice smile. What? No, dude. You are not texting and driving, all right? I am your personal texter.
All right.
Your PT.
All right.
That is my duty.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it.
Hey, babe. Who's this girl calling you babe? Only I can call you that.
Haha. Very funny. Nah, it's just this girl I met.
Melissa.
Yeah.
Wait, what's her last name?
I don't know. Something with an N. I met her at a pool party last week.
Pool party?
Yeah, she's great. She has this nice smile. Wait. What did you say your girlfriend's last name was again?
Norris. Mel Norris.
As in Melissa? Well, this is awkward.
Listen.
All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize,
You feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize,
Unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just...
Listen.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Maria Prekagis, and I am joined with another host of Community Cooking, Jeff Kawakami, who's also a personal chef, caterer. You have so many clients. You do so many events. I love it. I mean, you're hyper, so I get it. You want to be moving all the time, but you are so busy all the time.
I can't sit still. It would make me crazy. It would make me crazy. So,
I love
these are boiling lovely.
Okay.
I'm going to turn this off and...
Do you need my mitts?
I have kitchen hands.
I know. See, I do not. So we parboiled the chicken wings.
Ooh.
That is his key to get them very, very crispy.
That's the
So
trick.
we drained them. I love all the
Draining them,
tricks of
and
the
if
trade.
you can see, they are partially cooked.
Yeah.
They're partially cooked.
Which, and you want chicken cooked, so
You
that's
totally
good.
want chicken cooked. And with
Yeah.
wings, you almost can't overcook them.
I know.
So what I'm
Which
going
is
to do is I'm going to toss them back in here
Sizzle, sizzle.
just because I want to oil them.
Okay. Part of the crispiness.
Yeah.
I love it.
Toss it around because I'm not making extra dishes. Because that's all I do is wash dishes.
I know, and I'm not a dishwashing fan.
Yeah, me either.
Okay.
So these now go in the oven. Now these go in for 35 minutes, 400 degrees.
Okay.
And you rotate them once just so you make sure they're not sticking.
Well, and you being the professional you are, oh look, we have beautifully cooked, crispy ones
Super,
in the
super
oven
crispy.
already. Whoops, there we go. And and you don't do it with any sauce. Some people cook them with sauce, and you do not.
No, because that impedes them from getting crispy. If you think about it,
Oh, that
because
makes
you're just adding moisture
sense.
to it. And so how's it going to be crispy if you're adding moisture to it? Yeah.
Look, I'm putting them right in front of you.
Look how crispy those are.
Those are crispy.
These are nice crispy wings, and I'm a crazy person, so I'm touching with my bare hands. So
It's just me. I trust you. You're not sick.
So we're gonna make the sauce, and the sauce could not be easier.
And are
Butter.
you putting all that butter in?
All this butter. Well,
That's why I love you.
all those wings are in the oven.
Well, this is true. We have to make it for all of them.
Exactly.
Again,
Yeah.
wings and chips and salsa. And just a reminder to everyone, the salsa is in the fridge because we're letting it separate out a little bit.
It's chilling.
chilling. It's
Yeah.
chilling.
And sometimes I like to make my salsa the night before because it does let it separate and it helps to let the flavors meld. Everything mellows because sometimes the garlic can get really strong and the onion can be really strong. And if you just let it mellow out for a little bit, it's not so.
I always thought it'd be the opposite. It would bring the garlic out more, but it actually mellows it out.
It will in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we're doing now, we're melting the butter. I turn this off. This pan's already hot.
Yeah.
So I don't really need so much heat on
It's
it.
smoking.
And I'm going to add some cayenne pepper
Okay.
because I like a little extra kick,
I like extra kick.
and some garlic powder.
I love garlic powder because then you don't add more salt.
Exactly. And I'm not, you could use fresh garlic if you want to, but sometimes you get chunks of garlic, and some
Yeah.
people don't always like that.
I'm
you know
not a
what I
big
mean?
fan of chunky
Yeah.
garlic.
So we're just melting those, and I'm basically kind of blooming. Oh, no, you smell that?
I'm
It's,
like,
it's butter and garlic.
Give them all a pat of butter or 5. And so the buffalo sauce you got.
It's your favorite buffalo sauce, whatever
Okay.
one you like the best.
Okay.
This one is my favorite. I always have at least like 10 different hot sauces in my fridge because there's a different hot sauce for everything.
I don't think I have taste buds anymore because I have so many. I drank my first glass of milk the other day because I over hot sauced. Okay. Yum.
Not a thing to me. Not a thing.
So, but I know. Buffalo sauce, sometimes when you're in like restaurants, it's like, woo, but this is a little more mellow.
Yeah, but can you smell that and see that consistency?
Oh my gosh.
This is going to be
Because
delicious.
this is just not enough. You have to add to it. And,
Oh, absolutely.
well, duh.
So we're just going to take these wings, drop them, and see how crispy they are?
They are crispy.
That's
which is
the thing
great.
that I can't abide by gummy skin, and we are not having gummy skin today.
We can have dewy skin on our face, but no gummy skin on the wings. That is too funny.
Yeah, so I'm tossing these in, and of course, I wrap the pan in foil because I don't want to do dishes.
No, that has been my saving grace. I ruined a cookie sheet pan like you're using once just because I didn't foil it.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I do give these a nice scrub every once in a while because
Yeah.
they just need it. But yeah, I'm just bathing these in delicious sauce.
They're just bathing. The salsa's chilling.
Yeah. Let's peek at the
Let's-
salsa.
okay,
Let's see if it's
I'll run and
separated
get it.
yet. Yeah.
See if it's separated out a little bit or if it needs a little more time. I'm thinking maybe a little more time.
I think it needs a little more time. But
Okay.
you know what? Let's give it a taste. Because you actually can see it's a little thicker on top.
Yeah.
This will
So
start
the-
to separate because when you're blending it, you're actually aerating it, and now all those air bubbles are getting in there, and they're going to start rising to the top, and all of the water, because the water is heavier, is going to start sinking
Yeah.
to the bottom.
I know, I actually thought it was going to go the other way. And when I took it out, I go, oh no, water's heavier. Science was not my thing in school, obviously.
Science was my only thing. I don't know why. Like nothing else clicked.
Really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this still needs to rise, but you know
Okay.
what? We can give it a taste.
Okay.
Do you like chips and salsa?
Yes, and I like, you brought the strips, which I love.
The strips are my favorite. And so you always need to taste your food. Actually, I tell this to people all the time, and when you're in culinary school, that's the first thing the chef says to you. They go, have you tasted it yet? Because if you don't taste it, how do you know if it's good?
I'm never buying store-bought salsa again. And that has a kick. Hello! Oh.
See, I love Serranos because they have a kick. And I like the flavor of jalapeno, too.
Yeah.
That's why I use both.
Yeah, no, that's...
This gives it,
All right.
yeah.
Well, we're going to put this in the fridge for a few more minutes. When we get back, I'm going to taste his crispy chicken wings and probably a little more salsa, and we'll show you how to get the water out and everything.
Absolutely.
You're watching Community Cooking.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But here's the thing. Can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Can one piece of paper really tell you my whole story? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or how anytime there was an opportunity, I was the first one to step up. Because I wasn't gonna let my life, my circumstances dictate who I was gonna become. And all of that determination, the commitment, the drive, that's me. And that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent, like me.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. So, Jeff, we didn't have enough time to have the salsa separate properly, so what would we do?
So you can actually see it's starting to happen.
Yeah.
So the top layer is much thicker.
Okay.
And what it's going to do, it's going to separate. And so what I normally do, I take a turkey baster, squeeze so that you're expelling the air first, putting it down there, and then you release it, and it'll suck up the water that's down there.
Okay.
And this, if you, like I said, let it sit overnight. The flavors are going to just meld, and it's going to taste better. It's still amazing right now.
Well,
so
yeah.
We're going to scoop off the top layer.
Perfect.
Because that's the thick layer that you want.
I tell you.
And that water that's going to separate from this,
yeah.
I often use that to make rice, and sometimes I will use that water to boil my chicken wings.
Of course you do.
I'm not going to waste
anything. I love that. All right, I have to try it again because it's been sitting for a little longer.
Yeah.
Never buy salsa in the store again. Sorry to all you salsa makers. Oh my gosh, that's so good. All right, I'm digging in. I am going to go drumstick.
See, and I am a wing person. Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Yeah.
Crispy.
Can you hear that? Yeah.
And the sauce. Adding the butter and those extra little things. It's not like, woo, too
Doesn't punch you in the face,
no.
but there's a lot of flavor.
Okay. And you have to lick your fingers when you have wings. I am sorry, you gotta, crispy chicken wings, you were not kidding.
Yeah, they're super crispy.
I love when you come because they're just little tips and tricks of the trade, and it changes things.
You don't have to have complicated food to be a great chef. There's a lot of simple things that you can do and make at home that are really easy, and they're the basics that you're gonna love. Like this is something that I eat every day.
I know, I can't. It kills me. How do you eat that every day? If I ate this every day, I would be out to here, but God bless you. I love it. All right, well, thank you so much for going on the dark side and the other side.
Thank you very much. I love being here.
Jeff Kawakami, guest chef, and of course a host here right at Community Cooking. and I really encourage you to try these recipes. Easy and delicious. On behalf of Jeff, myself, and the entire crew, thanks for tuning in today. And remember, we really do have some of the best chefs right here in our own community. We'll see you next time on Community Cooking.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.